Hello, it's been a little while since I've done an update video on the street which I want my cat back, and so I thought I would do a little update on progress and what I've been doing. I suppose my kind of motto recently has been to get stuff in even if it is not polished, because somewhat done is better than sort of thinking about it and not actually doing it. So I've been really pushing myself to just get on and make stuff and get it in the game, even if it doesn't look as good as it could, or it's like maybe a bit janky, or the feature is not quite finished. The goal has really just been to get a lot of things in, somewhat working and visible, and I can try them out and play with them, and then I'm like, I can come back later and make this good. So somewhat done is better than polished, because at least I can see things and start to play with them. So let's jump into the various things that I've added to the game recently and what they are. So thing one is like an overhaul to how weapons work. I really wanted the weapons to feel like slightly more realistic than your average first-person shooter. So as you can see, there is no HUD on the screen. You can't see how many bullets you have. You have a button you can press to check your gun, and Meg will give you an estimate of how many bullets she thinks are left. So you fire a bunch of shots, you pull your mag out, maybe 8 more shots left and 1 more mag. You grab another box of bullets, a couple of mags, 8 shots, 5 shots and a couple of mags, and so on. And as I reload, the estimations will change. And that is a little system that works across all of the guns. So obviously with the sawn off it works a bit different because you've got shells and individual shots that the shotgun fires. So yeah, each of the weapons has its own little manager that kind of makes different estimates for the number of shots you've got left. Obviously the Uzi fires really quick, so your estimate is usually not quite as good as the pistol. But yeah, there is no HUD, you pull the mag out to count the bullets. And the reason you're going to care and not just spam reload is because mags are actual mags. Like if I reload halfway through a mag, and I toss that mag on the floor and I slap the new magazine in, I have wasted the remaining bullets in that magazine. So you kind of want to get the most out of the mags before you change them. So it does kind of like force you into this tension of having to open the gun, check the mags, put them back in again. And so I've got that working across all of the guns. And it's kind of cool, it makes it feel a bit different. It is a feature that I stole from an Xbox 360 game called Condemned. I'm sure it's been in a few other games as well. I haven't seen it that much, but I really liked it in that game. I thought it made things tense, and so I'm going to keep it in. As I said, this is about getting stuff in, not polished, so the way this text pops up on the screen is probably not how it will be finally. I might even have voice lines in there. Obviously the thing in the bottom left-hand side is not really going to be on the screen. This is about getting the technology in, and I can polish it and make it cool later. But that is thing one, ammo count. There's a few more things on guns, let's just check that out. So all of the guns now also have shell casings. So when I shoot them, they launch shells into the air, or with the shotgun it pops shells out when I reload the gun. The Uzi obviously is a high-speed shell casing distributor. So that all works. Again, it works enough. If I shoot up in the air, you can't see them because they're flying out into the floor. If I shoot straight down to the ground, they fly out too high. There's all kinds of problems with them at the moment. They don't look very good because they're all the same. I'd like to make them spin, bunch of stuff, but they are in. I have shell casings coming out of the gun. They're not good, they can be later, but they work right now and I'm happy. So the next thing I've been working on is, I already had the script right that moves a light towards an enemy, so when they shoot, it flashes when they fire. But Droopy has written a really cool script, written a really cool modification to the lighting shader, vertex shader, that'll actually illuminate the sprite when the weapon fires as well, which is quite problematic to do within Easy FPS itself. So all the enemies shoot animations have been updated so that they have this flash when they fire, which makes them look a bit better. The other thing which I wanted to add here as well is that the player reacts to getting hit. Again, there's no on-screen HUD, you don't have like a health bar and stuff like that. But when you get hit, it will shake the camera. He's got to reload. You can see the camera gets knocked off target. So what I wanted is when you're trading shots with an enemy, you can't just stand there. If they're shooting you, you can't just stand there blasting at them. If I try and shoot him, and he hits me back, my aim is going to get thrown off and I have to realign my aim. Just kind of makes it feel a little bit more I don't know, realistic, or there's a bit more to a combat than just shooting a guy. So thing 3 is storytelling, and like I want this to be a game that's not just about shooting people in the face. I want you to care about the people you're shooting in the face. Like I want you to have a reason to shoot them in the face. That makes shooting them in the face at least 10% more satisfying. And so I want ways of telling the story. So this is like a part where you come home and you find the goblins have trashed your apartment and stolen your cat. And so we've built a system where it points the camera at various things, and like the text can come up. I had some help from a guy called Eat Happy Meal with this, but I did customize it quite a lot afterwards. So basically, like characters can talk to you. I can point the camera at those characters or at other points of interest. Like when I go into the apartment, like Meg is looking around, she looks at different things and comments on them. Yeah, because I want this way of like drawing your attention to stuff. This also has another system. I'm going to skip through some of the text because like you want to read that when you're playing it. There is more to do in the apartment, and if you don't do it when you walk down the corridor and try to leave, your neighbor like calls to you and is like, hey, where are you going? And you have another conversation and she suggests you do other stuff. So if I try to go, she's like, you should go back and find a weapon. And it points me back at the apartment, sends me back for a weapon. If I try and leave, again, she's like, wait, and like you have the same, oh shit, I need a weapon, I forgot. And so it sort of sends you back, right? until you pick up the axe on the floor of your bedroom that the goblins have done shit everywhere. Until you have that axe, like she'll keep saying stuff to you, and you'll keep turning around and having to go back. And once you've got the axe, you can leave the area. So I just wanted to do some of this stuff that's like not necessarily shooting people in the face, right? It's like having these interactions, or I guess another good example is this section where you show up at the shitty apartment block that the goblin gang live at. Like when you arrive, you can pull the camera up, do this establishing shot, and have Meg comment on the building and things like that. And again, like when you go and chat to this guy, he won't even let you in the building. So he talks to you and he's like, fuck you and fuck your cat, and then he pushes you. Again, different animations. Eventually he'll actually push you. I only have this like twitch right now, which is actually his her animation, but it's not about being good, it's about being in. So yeah, he'll push you away, and like you've got to figure out a way to get past him. Until you do, he's just going to keep shoving you. In fact, if you piss him off enough, he just pulls his gun out and starts shooting. So yeah, I wanted these ways of doing storytelling, of being able to pull the camera around, make Meg look at stuff and comment on it, or have characters that you talk to, you have interactions with, that are not just this like fixed point text comes on screen. We can like look at things and direct it around and make it, I don't know, feel a bit more cinematic. Yeah, this brings me, standing here, kind of brings me on, I guess, neatly to a bunch of other developments. I've been creating tons of assets, so I've been creating lots of like city buildings to try and give this place a sense of space. A lot more assets, like I mean, this side of the street's kind of a bit shit, pretend this isn't happening. Just look at this bit, which is kind of more polished. So yeah, a lot of like outside street assets. Excuse me, sorry, I just need to get into this building. A lot more stuff to go inside the buildings as well, more like little trash piles and things like that. I built this functional elevator, which I'm not going to use because it does something kind of cool I don't want to give away yet. I want to save that little surprise for when you actually play the game. But if I fly up to the next floor, yeah, a lot more assets for doing these trashy buildings. I don't just want these huge empty corridors that you kill people in. I want them to feel like a space. This is like, the goblins love trash and their hideout is full of it, and they've written shit on the walls, and their apartment is not as nice as yours. Their apartment is a dump, and there's loads of dirty dishes and piles of crap on the floor, and it's just like green and horrible. And so yeah, a lot of time has gone into just making assets, and not just, I haven't like made all of this stuff. A bunch of these things, chairs and things, are like downloaded from asset packs, but then I've retextured them or made these kind of glitchy textures to hopefully make everything sort of fit together a little bit more nicely and feel like a conformed environment. So yeah, a lot of effort here on just scenery for buildings to make them look a bit more real. Alright, so that's where I'm at. A lot of new stuff has gone into the game since the last few months. I hope it's been interesting to see all the various bits that have been added. And yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of trying to get a demo together in the next couple months and getting it out there to get people's feedback. It's been a while that I've been working on this. I put a lot of time into it, but I'm trying to just make it slowly, not like burn myself out on it. And I feel like it's coming together, but it's coming together gradually because there's so many unique environments and so many things that need like their own sprites or their own sounds or whatever. And I think that in this kind of game, in order to sell the space and make it like a kind of immersive experience, it needs all of these individual elements. I kind of don't want to share it with people until I feel like it's really there. It's not quite there yet, but it's definitely getting there. So yeah, excited to share more soon. Hopefully I won't just forget to make a video forever, and yeah, this guy will just continue to hit me with an axe in the face for a few seconds as some other videos get linked on the screen.